morning, good afternoon, good evening. I don't know what time it is where you are, but right now it is time for more insight. This is insight you can trust because there is more where it came from. I'm your host, Chris Moore. Make sure you like, follow, subscribe. Make sure you do all those things. We're just trying to grow. We're just trying to build. You already know what we do. But today I got a special guest with me. And this ain't no average dude. Today we got a man who just don't speak the truth. He's going to shift the room when he gets in there. His words going to hit you like your grandma when she say, I told you so. But they also go land like a sermon you didn't know you needed. Some folks online, they try to go viral, but this guy right here, he is vital. He's necessary. He's one quote at a time. He's giving you culture clarity. Whether you're a healed king, a reformed soft boy, or you just trying to stop dating red flags with lip gloss, he got a word for you. From tonight's conversation stage to your cousin's group chat, you've laughed, you've reposted, you argued, you've been in the mentions, and probably even got convicted by the man's voice. But now I'm going to talk to him a little bit deeper. We're going to have a great conversation. TrillAC is clocked in, y'all. He's in the building, and this one's going to feed your soul. Welcome to the show, my man.
Bro, that's probably the best intro I ever had, but I ain't gonna lie to you. I definitely appreciate that, man. Real rap.
Hey, man, I like to think sometimes I'm better than ChatGPT, so I was like, you know what? Let me get in my bag. I don't need no AI. I don't need no AI.
For sure.
I'm CM.
For sure. I definitely appreciate it. But yeah, happy to be here, brother. Like I said, I'm looking forward to the combo, man. Let's get
Absolutely,
into it.
man. Before we get started, I got a segment. It's called 3 on 3. These are 3 questions, 3 answers. You give me what you feeling. I listen. I don't judge. I do make assessments, but I ain't gonna judge you. Off the top 3 cities that you visited.
Chicago is number 1 for sure. Probably Atlanta number 2, and then a sleeper, San Francisco. San Francisco is gorgeous.
I believe it. I believe it. I need to get out there, man.
Yeah,
I need to get out there.
Yeah, you're gonna know
out
as soon as you get to the airport, brother.
Man, you was going to any other vineyards or anything like that?
I didn't get the chance. We had one show to do, and we was coming off for Oakland the night before.
Okay.
We had to go in there last minute, boom, knock it out, and then head back to the crib. But I say next time I go there, brother, I got to. Because Oakland and San Fran, they close by each other. So
what's the bridge?
We got to see a little bit, but we ain't really get to dive in there. Oakland is another sleeper too, and one more I'll probably say Memphis. Memphis up there for me.
Hey, that's where I'm at right now. But we're gonna talk about why I haven't done an official meetup with you lately. I'm gonna give you the reason why later on. Right now, I know you're an R&B guru. You love your music. So the first one is going to be your top 3 R&B artists right now. Right now.
Shit. Let's see. I wasn't prepared for this one. Okay, top. All right, we talking about currently, or we talking about just living overall? Oh, current. Okay, yeah. Number 1, I'm gonna probably go Summer Walker.
I ain't gonna hold you. That's a good one.
Summer Walker, man. People say what they want about her, but that girl is skilled. I gotta go. I mean, here's the thing. Like Usher's still active though, so it's like I know we ain't talking about legends, but I gotta put Usher in there, and then my number 1 probably just overall, like whenever they drop, I gotta hear it. That's Chris Brown for sure.
Okay. I said I don't judge. I had an assessment when you said Usher, and if you said Usher and you ain't mentioned Chris Brown, we're gonna talk about that a little bit later. We're gonna get into it a little bit later. Because I got a hot take for your ass. Top 3 hip hop artists right now. I know that's gonna be tough for you because I see you tweet artists all the time.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna go. We talking about rapping. I gotta go Drake number 1 for sure.
Okay.
That's my favorite rapper. I got Dot in there 2, and then at 3, I'm gonna try to pick somebody that people wouldn't expect. I ain't gonna lie, man. Like recently, probably within the past, I don't know, maybe year or so, Larry June. I've been tapped into Larry June
Yeah.
heavy. So yeah, those probably top three in my rotation right now. And again, I want to clarify, I'm not one of them new Drake and K Dot fans.
Nah,
All this little shit
you've
they
been
got
on.
going on right now. I'm talking about Section 80 K Dot. I'm talking about comeback season, room for improvement Drake. What you
Yeah,
understand? Like
you
that's the
talking about
Drake I'm a
peak
fan.
coat on the cover Drake.
Correct. There we go.
Yeah,
So yeah, but yeah, still, which speaks to their skill, bro. For them to still be relevant all these years later is crazy.
absolutely. Um, let's get into it, man. So I came across you like 20 between 2012 and 2015, the golden years of what's formerly known as Twitter, but now known as X. Um,
Still can't call it that.
I still can't call it that. It's still Twitter to me. Your mama named you Clay. I'm gonna name you Clay. I'm gonna call you Clay. Uh, talk to me about between 2012 and 2015. What made Twitter so special back then?
Man, it was before everybody had a brand. We was literally just coming there to kick it. I think everybody now is brand conscious. Everybody's scared to get canceled. People started getting pages deleted, after that era and all of that. So, but back then it was, man, it was no man's land. We was saying whatever, doing whatever, didn't have to worry about no repercussions of it. But now you got even people pulling tweets back up from then and canceling people from tweets they had back then. So I would say just for one, everybody wasn't so brand conscious. We was literally like just one big family kicking it every day. You know what I mean? Didn't have to worry about none of the extra stuff that you got to worry about now.
Absolutely, same here. I think the good thing about it, it felt like we were all at the cookout and we were just chopping shit up, just chopping it up. Uh, them jokes was getting off. Uh, I mean, it was a good time, man. Like I know people who have hooked up from Twitter. I know people who've gotten married off of Twitter from that time. Uh,
Yeah,
me
and that
low
was the
key being one of them.
chronological order days. That was before this little algorithm shit they doing. I don't know what I'm
Yeah,
talking
we
about
don't
the
know what that is.
chronological order days. You hear me? Hashtag days, music Mondays, and all of that shit. Like,
Man,
yeah, it was a
wagon
totally different time.
Wednesdays.
Right, you already know. It was a totally
Hey,
different
man,
time back then.
man. I mean, one of the best lines Drake has is "What a time to be alive," and that was a time to be alive.
Yes, sir.
But for you, would you classify yourself, because I think the perception of you has changed since then. Do you think that you were a menace back in those days?
I think I was a little less refined in my messaging, but in
Ah,
terms of the substance of what I say now, it's pretty comparative to what I was saying then. I just talked more recklessly back then. That's why they hadn't been able to pull no old tweets to cancel me, right?
mm-hmm,
He wasn't saying, "Oh, black women are trash." Or, I was never on that. You know what I mean? I was always just combating with logic and shit that made sense, but I was doing it in a boisterous way back then as compared to now. Like I said, you got to be more brand conscious in your delivery. But even with that, brother, like the substance of my messaging is still the same.
absolutely, absolutely. And it just goes to your name, Trill. You are real. You are
Appreciate
like,
that.
from what I've seen and what I've experienced, like you've remained the same. So you're, even like you said, your messaging hasn't changed. It's just a little bit more refined. So I definitely agree with you. But then there was a shift that occurred because I remember you would be tweeting out like random things like "I ain't working hard enough" or "the grind is still being worked on." Like, wait till y'all see me next year. And from that time on, I've seen you on TMZ. I just saw you at the Essence Fest. You're on
Right.
stages. How does it feel that you actually spoke those things and it's manifesting for you now?
Man, it's just I think I just eventually just took control or took a hold of and leaned into my quote unquote influence. I feel like I always been kind of, I don't want to say influential. That sounds like something crazy, but just I've always had a decent amount of influence on my surroundings, even before online. I'm talking about just running around the neighborhood, like people just gravitate to me. But I always kind of shot away from that. I'm kind of introverted. I'm not really a person that's loud and boisterous and out there meeting everybody and shaking everybody's hands and all of that stuff. Forever, I kind of just fought against that. And I think around the time you talking about was when I just leaned into it. It's like, look, man, I'm kind of getting pushed in this direction. So let me see what'll happen if I just buckle down and really like do what I got to do in terms of building this, influence and building this platform and building these things up. I probably within about a month of just buckling down and doing that, things start happening. And
Man,
that's when I started getting in mind, like, okay, nah, things are gonna look very different in 12 months or 15 months. I just kind of got a hint in. It wasn't me guessing. It was just literally watching like the uptick and me just giving a little bit of effort. Because back then, like I said, or like we both said, we used to just be kicking it, bro. We used to be saying shit. No, I mean, don't get me wrong. Like it was substance to what was being said, but it wasn't with the platform. I mean, with the idea of building a platform or becoming this influencer or that shit wasn't it. We was just kicking it and chopping it up, and certain
it's
quotes was
entertainment.
taken off. But like I said, once I buckled down and be like, okay, let me lean into this. I done sat back, I done analyzed the game, and now I kind of know my lane in it, or I know what they want to hear from me. So let me just tap into that.
You talk about even what you just said there. Like, I know you don't want to lean into the influencer thing because it's definitely some negative connotation with it, and there's a stigma to it. Let me say it like that: it's a stigma to it. But what are some of those moments that made you feel like your words started to hit different and you started to see that shift? Like, was there any type of affirmation that happened that said, you know what, I'm seeing it now?
Man, I'm gonna be honest. I think most people would probably figure like when the celebrities and shit start showing you love and stuff like that, but that wasn't it for me. It was the testimonies, bro. It was the
Yeah.
people in my DM saying, "Hey, bro, like you really helped me with that." You know what I mean? I never looked at things from that perspective, and I started applying what you said to my life, and I started elevating. I started making more money. I started attracting women. I started doing this. I started doing that. So at that point, it's like, whoa, that wasn't part of the plan. Like I said, we was just chopping it up, but people making real life decisions based on what I'm saying. Okay, I got to tighten this up a bit. I got to refine the messaging a bit. Not change who I am, not change the substance of what I'm saying, but just be more responsible with it. So I feel like that was really the turning point, like getting those testimonials, man, whether it be online or running into people in person in the grocery store, people coming up to you and just showing hella love and quoting tweets and all type of stuff. It's like, wait, damn, now y'all really tapped in. Okay, say no more.
And I would even say, let's remove influencer and just call you an impactor because that's what it boils down to. You're
I'll
impacting
take that.
people's lives.
I'll take that.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So then you make a transition. Not even a transition. There's being more added to your plate. So tonight's conversation comes on. What does it feel like to be a part of this incredible group and this incredible brand? Because this brand is different from any other brand. It's not like
Yeah.
you can just go to YouTube and pull up these conversations. You got to be a part of the community.
Yeah, it opened my eyes to a whole new world.
Mhm.
Because a lot of what I was doing prior to was just online, and even more condensed than that, just on Twitter at first when we first started making content. Like we was just uploading to Twitter, nowhere else. But tapping in with Ace, man, like that dude does not get half of the credit that he deserves. When I say the biggest podcaster out in terms of in our culture, hands down. I don't like you name anybody and they not doing the numbers that he doing in person, live shows and stuff like that. First tour that I went on, how it even happened was like, because I was on Twitter and then I ventured into TikTok and I ventured into Instagram and then the clips and stuff started blowing up that way. But he seen the movement and he was just like, hey bro, I rock with you, man. Like, I want you to pull up to my crib because that's where his studio is. He's like, we do these these in person shoots and stuff, and I've been seeing like some clips here and there of them, and it was always dope conversation. I was like, damn, okay, nah, man, them boys really moving. You know what I mean? And just so happened he reached out one day and said, bro, I want you to pull up. And he paid for my flight. He paid me a fee to come do it and all types of stuff. I was like, oh nah, bro, really about his business. You know what I mean? Like it ain't just a hey, just come kick it with me. It's like, nah, bro, I want to pay you for your time and this, that, and the third. And just getting there, like how those seasons are shot Like you got to have a totally different discipline. He literally shoots whole seasons in a weekend.
Oh yeah,
So it's
that's the
like,
Tyler Perry method.
yeah, I'm talking about like, and it's structured. You get there, it's like, okay, your call time is 7. Then you take a break at 8. You got a 9 o'clock. You got 11 o'clock. You got a 12. Like it's structured. You know what I mean? And it's professional and it's ran. And it's just leaving that just opened my eyes. Like whoa, like I'm not taking this serious enough. You
Man,
understand what I'm saying? But yeah, leaving the in studio shoot. I went down there, did my thing. And he say, hey, bro, I really, rock with you the second and third. We about to go on tour. How would you feel about that? I'm like, tour, bro. Again, something else that just never crossed my mind. I'm tweeting and making little clips for social media. I'm tour. And at first I was like, no, because I was so focused on building, my platform and all of that, and I was doing crazy numbers at that time. So I'm like, yeah, I don't want to interrupt that. And he was like, nah, bro, just come do one show and see how you like it. And if you ain't rocking with it, then it's all love. But if you is, I want to bring you on. We got 30 cities coming up this fall. So I said, all right. Chicago was the first show. Walked in and it was like 500 people. And it was just like, whoa. Okay, no, this is different, because again, it's a lot of people call themselves influencers or creators, but they talking to their camera in their quiet, comfortable room, right? But now you in
legit
front of 500 people like that, and it's
on
like,
the spot.
okay,
It's
boom,
different.
yeah, talk that shit that you was talking before, and the style of the show is random Q&A. You don't know what's coming. We don't get a prep sheet or, hey, bro, these gonna be the questions asked. Y'all get a little time to get ready for them. It's like, nah, fans come up, ask it, and he be like, all right, Trill, what you think? And it's just like, you gotta, you know what I mean? So it's like that opened my eyes to it, like, oh, this is different. You understand what I'm saying? And another thing about bro, gotta give him his credit. He pay you handsomely to go do it. It's not chump change to go out there. You understand what I'm saying? So
It's worth your
leaving
time.
that, oh, for sure, for sure. And regardless of what people saying out there, I know it's a lot of talk and things of that nature. But nah, bro is professional, man. He bought his business. And yeah, so leaving that, I was like, man, hell yeah, of course. Of course I want to do it. And that was that. Been rocking with him ever since. But getting back to what I said, like, bro don't get half the credit he deserves as far as his impact. And it's because of what you said. The full things are not on YouTube or they not on this place or that place. So people thinking that, oh, it's just these little clips on Instagram. Nah, brother. We was on a 30 city tour, and on average, it was 3,000 asses and seats in every city we went to, bro. On
And for
average.
and for perspective, you got artists who not even doing 30 cities.
Correct.
You got a lot of artists just doing 10 and they out. So for y'all to hit 30 cities, that's amazing. That's a huge accomplishment.
Wild part is this. It's like we hit 30 cities, and like I say, averaging 2,800, 3,000 per city. Some cities like New York, Atlanta, those 4,000, 5,000
For
sometimes.
sure.
New York, we did 3 nights in New York, and we had 4,000 people every night, back to back to back. Even like the rappers and stuff that was there, they say artists don't do that out here. Like a podcast doing that is nuts. We ended up wrapping up that tour, and we took like a month off. And bro hit me. It's like, hey, he said, hey, I'm thinking about Dublin, going right back in the spring. What's up? What you on? I was like, damn. So you talking about in 3 weeks? He said, in 3 weeks. I say, bet. So we did it again, like back to back, like a month break and another 30 back to back. You understand? So it's like, and it was the same turnout. That's what I'm saying. Like, people not doing that. You look at these podcasts that you think are big, go to their live show. It's not 4,000, 5,000 people watching them podcasts.
They're not even having a live show for that matter.
Exactly, bro.
So yeah, I
Exactly.
definitely commend him for that. That is
Mhm.
amazing in itself. One of the smallest details that you said, but is one of the biggest things I don't think people understand. When he said, "Come out to the studio," he paid for your ticket and he paid for your time. A lot of people don't understand. If I'm flying you out somewhere, I need to cover that charge. A lot of people be like, just pull up. Like, nigga, no. You got to pay for me to come. You asking for me to come.
And here's what else, bro. Remember I said we toured and did 30 cities?
Yeah.
He didn't have no sponsors.
Oh, that's a
He
whole nother
paid
level.
for everything all out of pocket. So that's what I'm saying. Like, it's people
Oh,
can
man.
say what they are, but bro, it's a totally different animal, brother. I ain't gonna lie.
Hearing that right now makes me want to just play some Rick Ross and get my life together.
Right.
Because I need to get my money up. Because for him to do that, major shouts out to him. Like, I commend him, and what he's doing needs to be studied, legit.
For sure. For sure.
Absolutely. I'm not jealous of a lot of people. I'm
Mhm.
jealous of you of one thing. This past weekend in Essen Fest, you had the best seat in the house.
Sit
I'm a
next to toy,
happily
yeah.
married man. I'm a happily married man, but top 3 of my celebrity crushes is Toya Johnson. And
Right.
she was able to be a part of the Essence Fest stage this year. I ain't gonna go into that conversation too much
Right.
because I want to have a good memory of you. I
Right.
don't want no bad blood between us. But how does it feel to be on? Growing up, Essence was like where our aunties and uncles go to, but now
Everything,
we
bro.
turning into those aunts and uncles. So how does it feel to be at the Essence Fest on the
Man,
stage and not just
yeah.
in attendance?
Yeah, that was my first time being an active member of it. And
Mm-hmm.
yeah, it's a totally different ball game out there, man. First off, salute to Toya. Toya got up there and killed on
I
stage.
believe it.
A lot of celebrities that we have on our pod, they'll get up there and they'll be a little, they may say something decent here there, but they be a little shy and they be a little taken aback because, like I said, the crowds are kind of massive. But even at that festival, right? Like, they had stages and different things like that. And you know how festival work, like Coachella or the Roots or something. Like, people kind of just moving around. You may have 50 people watching this one, 100 watching that one, whatever. And when we was getting set up, like, it was probably 60 people. And then once we started show, it was like 400 came
It
and
go
just,
real quick.
so it was crazy. But to her credit, like, she was a consummate professional, bro. Like, she is incredible in
Yeah,
terms of her articulation, her, asking questions, answering questions off the fly, doing her 1-2 steps. So, man, salute to Toya, for real, for real. But as far as Essence as a whole, yeah, it was, man. Salute to Essence, man. Them boys rolled out the red carpet for us, bro. We had VIP the whole way, in every aspect of it, brother. From the stage to the, credentials and concert access and green room access. We was in every green room behind every stage. Free food, all you can drink alcohol, and I was drinking Crown Apple out there because they
there
didn't
you go.
have no, you know what I mean. I was back on that Crown Apple again.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, got to meet so many incredible people, bro, and from the Luke Jameses to the Jason
Man,
Weavers to Chris Tucker was out there, Master P is out there. Um, but just got to meet so many amazing people, and the wild part is that, like, you would think that since they've been celebrities for a while, they would be a little stuck up. Everybody was humble as hell. You know what I mean? And everybody was cool. Like, we was kicking it. Like, we've been knowing each other 10 years out there, bro. So it's just like that's the energy. It's like we family. It wasn't no fights. It wasn't none of that. It's people just literally walking around, drinking, eating that good ass New Orleans food and having an incredible time, bro. So salute to Essence.
I love New Orleans. I love Cajun. I love seafood. So that's definitely one of my favorite cities. Um, I'm from Atlanta, born and
Mm-hmm.
raised, live in Memphis now, but it's something different about that NOLA food, man.
Oh man.
I
Oh man.
mean, I know people cook with love.
Yeah,
They
it's a
in
little different.
love. They in lust. They in
Yeah,
everything.
it's
That food just hit different, bro.
a little different out there, brother. I ain't gonna lie. Lord.
Man, let me ask you this.
Mm-hmm.
All the advice that you give out, all the quotes that you deliver, Has there ever been a time where you had to check yourself and say, I need to practice what I'm preaching?
Yeah, definitely. I think in the communication phase of it, I think when things bother me, I tend to shut down and I kind of isolate myself and kind of figure it out, and then I come out of my shell once I got the solution or once I done reached the point. But getting to that point, it's kind of rough for me. So that right there was one of them ones. When I'm telling guys, hey man, you got to communicate, let her know what's on your mind, regardless of how much it's gonna hurt or regardless of how much she may not want to hear it. Make sure you get it off your chest. But that's something that I'm still currently working on to this day. A lot of that's not easy conversations to have. You married, you know how I go. You understand? Like you may have something you want to get off your chest, but you get to asking yourself, is the risk worth the reward? Should I save this battle for another day, or is this something that I really gotta stand on right now? You understand what I'm saying? Finding that balance between not letting too much stuff slide and addressing what need to be addressed. Because if you let too much stuff slide, when you go
Becomes
to
the norm.
address it, it's going yeah. So finding that balance, man, that right there has been probably the biggest hurdle for me.
I'm glad that you mentioned marriage. Um, well, newsflash, everyone. TrillAC is married. He shows his wife off pretty often. Come on now. But the
Salute to my
reason
baby.
why, so I respect tonight's conversation. I love what everyone is doing, but I feel, and correct me if I'm wrong, for me as a married man, I don't want to take my wife to tonight's conversation because I don't want those conversations on the way back home. Granted, my security is at an all-time high. I feel like I'm doing everything, but
Hmm.
I that's just my perception. So I don't need to go to tonight's conversation and all of a sudden I'm hearing such and such ask a question and now I got to deal with that conversation on the way home. So that's why I haven't been, to be perfectly
Right,
honest with you.
right.
Am I right in my assessment? Because I feel like tonight's conversation is suited for people who are trying to date, who are looking to date, and who are trying to like navigate the dating life.
Mm-mm. Yeah, it's all wrong. You got
Okay,
it all
I'm wrong.
wrong, brother. Like
Okay,
if it's a nice conversation live show, man, it's an experience like you ain't never seen before. Like people look at the clips and they think, okay, I'm coming there and it's just gonna be serious conversation from top to bottom, or sometimes outlandish conversations. So people be asking some wild questions,
yeah,
but I think they don't get to see the pre-show with our DJ Marky G and the music, the old school music he playing us up, line dancing and doing all of these things, and during intermission, his music and vibing and just the like camaraderie that's built there. It's not a spot where we super judgmental. None of that. People coming up with serious questions, and we giving them that attention and sensitivity that they need to answer those questions. Some people coming with outlandish stuff, and then we gon' joke right with you. You understand? But it ain't gonna be just a serious panel for 2 hours. You understand? It is an experience. So bringing your wife there, it'll be smooth. Y'all gonna laugh, y'all gonna joke, y'all gonna, get real serious. Look at each other and be like, damn, maybe we need to implement that a little bit, in our situation. But you're gonna take something from it. But it's definitely not as bad as you think. You gotta come check it out, and then you're gonna know what I mean by the end. You'll be like, yeah, nah, this shit was cool, bro.
okay. I would take that. I would definitely take that, and I will make sure I pull up to the next one in Memphis. You got my word. You got my
For
word on
sure.
that
Sure.
one. Let's switch gears a little bit.
Hmm.
I know you have been tapping into Love Island. Is this your first time watching Love Island?
Yes. Again, you got a wife, so you already know how this goes. Walking in, fixing you something to eat, and it's playing on the TV. You stop and watch a little bit. And you're like, man, he said what? Man, he let her get away with that. Yeah. So you
Yeah.
done sat down and started eating and watching it, and you look up, you 20 episodes in. So that's essentially how I got tapped into it. Cause that's my old lady, man. She like that kind of stuff, that virtual reality, that not virtual reality, but reality TV ish type of stuff. And it was something going on. It just kind of caught my eye, and I just been locked in ever since. You know what I mean? So
I ain't
yo,
gonna hold you.
oh, that's old. But
I
yeah.
ain't gonna hold you. I've been tapped in for like 3 years, but the way I came
Mhm.
across it, it was legit around this time. It was nothing on TV. I had Peacock on. I think I had like Bel Air on or something, just rewatching something. And then all of a sudden that came on. I was like, oh, this is interesting. This is
Mhm.
crazy. And then it's been on for me since then. So okay. If you were single, could you be on Love Island?
Definitely. Definitely. It'll be easy. I mean, it's not, it's not, it ain't hard at all. Oh, hold on real quick.
All
Come in.
good.
Oh, there you go. What's up, boy? Come on in. You good? All right, you good. Chilling. But yeah, could I be on it? Yeah, man. Love Island, bro. If I was single, yeah, it'll be easy. But I think I'm kind of older now, so like it kind of
Yeah.
wouldn't be fair. A lot of those are
Yeah.
like younger girls. They easy to manipulate. Like you know how it go, bro. We done been around the block, man. Like even if you ain't trying to
Yeah.
manipulate her subconsciously, you gonna be,
Yeah.
moving pieces on that chessboard, and it's just all right, man. It's not really fair.
Yeah.
But
Touche.
young
Touche.
me, yeah, nah, for sure.
Who do you want to win Love Island? There's a few couples left. Who do you want to win?
I ain't gonna lie, man. I'm kind of, I'm rocking with Ace, man. I feel like he done been the most authentic one there. Uh, if we gonna be honest. Even though I don't really believe in him and Shelly's relationship for real, I think that if Coco would have stayed, we wouldn't be looking at him and Shelly right now. We'd be looking at Coco
Hey, they're gonna
and
have to run
Ace.
this back and bring Coco back, man.
Bro, I was sick when she left. I say, I
Like
say she walked in and immediately became the baddest one in the villa, bro.
legit. Like they're gonna have to run her back. She don't need to be on the sideline. She need to come back and she need to find love. Legit.
So yeah, she got to tap in. So it's either, that's my favorite couple. If not them, then I'm gonna go, Nick and Landry, just based off tenure. You know what I mean?
True, true. I will say that I didn't like Ace in the beginning. But for some reason, like the way they started to produce
Hmm.
Ace, he like changed gears, and it was like, you know what? I I'm gonna lock in with you. You good? I'm like you though. I don't believe him and Shelly outside the villa. I think
Mm-mm.
this is good for right now. But because the thing is, they got to go back home.
That's
And
it.
when Ace get back home, he gonna have a whole. He's already got a little influence. He already got a little stardom, but it's
Right.
about to hit a whole different level now. So this little short king, this Tory Lanez of a guy, he about to run it up.
He going crazy, man. I think he done cracked 1 million followers on Instagram, all type of stuff. So yeah, it's gonna be a different ball game once they get up out that villa. But
Yeah,
I would love to see him take home that 100,000. Because even like the clips on the outside that I've been seeing, he been working with special needs kids and different things like that, helping them. So all that's honorable to me. You understand? And then
absolutely,
it's just like you said, watching his evolution over the show, it's just like, oh nah, okay, nah, bro, really solid for real. If you really just
legit.
break down his ideologies and like how he moved. He's not too loose. He ain't messing with every chick. He been kind of just chilling, like locked in. It's really only been Shelly and Coco for real throughout the
Yeah,
whole show.
yep,
And he done had opportunities with plenty other chicks, and he like, nah, I'm cool. Because you see what happened when they try to put him with Maya.
yeah. That was.
It was going
I don't like all that. Just chill out. Don't be
yeah,
calling me Bay. Like
right.
relax.
He was
Yeah,
sitting there with his arms crossed when she was talking to him. I say, yeah, it's
bro.
over with. He ain't feel her at all.
If anything, if he's nothing else, he's pure comedy. That dude is hilarious.
For
It's
sure.
pure comedy. He
For
know
sure.
they got the right one on the show. They got the right one on the show. Switching gears again. I know you're a fan of Clips, and I just saw the other day they talking about a Tiny Desk with Clips. New album drops this week.
Ooh.
What are your expectations for this new Clips album?
Greatness. I expect continued greatness of what we done heard. Lord's willing. Lord,
Yeah,
he'll have no fury. Um,
man.
so yeah, to the casket drops. I'm re-up gang. Like I'm all that.
Yes,
Like so we go back. But the Tiny Desk, I know for sure 3 records that I need to hear at that Tiny Desk, or I'm gonna be highly disappointed. Or 4, grinding for sure. Virginia.
Yeah,
Keys Open Doors.
man, a
And
classic.
for the fourth, I might go. I want to hear Nightmares with Bilal.
That will go crazy on a tiny desk.
Yeah, exactly. Especially
That
if
will
they
go
bring
crazy.
out Bilal. Oh man,
He ain't doing nothing. They can just pull him up.
right.
He ain't doing nothing. I agree with you. Clips back in 2002 when Grinding dropped, man. As they say, cafeteria tables were never the same. And then that whole album, Ma Don't Love Her. I've just been playing it the last week or two. The family freestyle, the Cot
Sir.
Down, all of it.
Mm-hmm.
That whole album, and then like you said, the other albums, Lord Willing. Lord Willing is that album.
Hell
Hell Hath
Hath
No
No
Fury.
Fury till the casket
Oh,
drops. For sure. Re-Up Game
I'm more.
mixtape days. Salute to Ab
Oh,
Lava. Speaking of,
I'm
he gonna be
excited
on a new
about it.
project.
Absolutely, I'm excited about it mainly because Malice is back, and I feel like Malice pushes Pusha to be a better rapper.
Yeah, cause he be kicking Pusha ass on records,
Legit.
and that's what people don't be understanding. Like Malice is certain, man. And the thing is, like,
Pusha
it done been this way for a while in
for a
terms
while.
of, and like Pusha done acknowledged it. Like, yeah, nah, bro,
Yeah,
it's really good. But like, you
Pusha
know,
is the face. He's the one that's marketable. He's brandable. Malice ain't got the look, so that's why he don't. That's why they sleep on Malice.
yeah, my favorite Malice verse to this day is Popeyes. He went
Oh,
crazy. He went crazy on Popeye. Whenever that come on, I be rapping the verse like I wrote it.
bro, I'm in my head. I'm thinking about Virginia Malice. He think he hard, tough guy to
I've
click,
got to
and Pusha
click.
he walk
Push walk
around like he
around like
swear
he
he the
swear he
shit.
the shit. You right on both counts, bitch. That's
Clips
just
is
us.
us, man.
Come
What? There are
on,
some
brother.
things that you just don't
Don't
discuss. Like
discuss.
I'm excited
Come on.
about Malice.
Yeah.
Pusha, we got Pusha records for days and days, but to get
Mm-hmm.
Malice back,
It's a beautiful
I'm,
thing.
I'm, yeah,
I thought it was
I'm.
over, bro. I ain't gonna lie, because Push been trying to get him for about 10 years, 15 years. Shit, I thought it was over with.
I thought it was over too, but
But I knew as soon as he changed his name back, I say, okay,
that was it.
okay, we got hope. We got hope.
No, and then the other thing is Pharrell. Pharrell and Clips is just magic, man.
Come on,
And
man.
he's doing the entire album as he should. So that I'm looking forward to because when Pharrell gets in that bag, that Louis Vuitton bag, since he's working with Louis now, once he get in that Louis bag, it's a wrap.
For sure, for sure. I ain't gonna lie, brother. I'm trying to fly out there to Fashion Week next time, bro. Next year, for real. I'm trying to go make that front
Man,
row.
man, that shit looks like a vibe.
For sure. For
Yeah.
sure.
The initial reason why I wanted to reach out to you about this interview is because this month will be 20 years since Thug Motivation 101 came out. Jeezy, I'm from Atlanta. I was
Yeah.
there during the Jeezy era.
Greatest trap album of all time. But continue.
Man, give me some of your memories about Thug Motivation 101. Do you got any good stories associated with it? And what does it mean to you?
Man, running around Abilene and Dallas with my cousins, man, doing things that I can't really speak about on this camera. But
Yeah.
that was a time, man, to where I really became who I am. If you may, if I could say that without saying too much, that's why I really became who I am. That album, Get Rich or Die Trying, those two albums came out around the same time. But TN 101, come on, brother, like
I'm the
I still
realest nigga in it.
come on,
You
hey.
already know.
My trap of the year 4 times. Look, man, I even at the Tonight's Conversation shows, most times I come out to get your mind right,
Yes.
bro.
Yes.
So yeah,
Side
come
note,
on,
real
man.
quick. When y'all do that, it's like one of the dopest things because I feel like y'all at an NBA arena.
Right,
And
right.
that'd be dope. I ain't even gonna hold you. I'd be like, hey, this is what it's all about. But continue. TM 101.
Man, it's classic, bro. I'm talking about 101. You could just let play through. We talking about gangster music. We talking about the intro. We talking about, get your mind right. Goddamn, it's just, because a lot of those records came from the Trap or Die mixtape, but he just took it to a whole nother level with that shit. Air Force Ones,
I
it's just
remember
classic stuff, brother.
I remember when Soul Survivor dropped.
Oh man, yeah, with Akon. For sure.
Yeah. And then one of the funniest things is like one of those skits. She basically was like, "I love you," and he was like, "That's how you feel." I said, "Hey,
Yeah.
this dude is ruthless." But
Yeah,
it's
that
that
was the
kind of stuff,
time.
man. Like I remember like saying that same thing later on in life. Like, that's how you feel? Okay.
Bruh.
All right.
Yeah, that was them
But
was good times. That was right before Meech got locked up. Meech was in Soul Survivor video, wasn't
yeah. Yep.
he? Yeah. That's literally
But
right
yeah,
before he
I'm
got
with
locked
you,
up.
man. Thug Motivation 101, one of the
Greatest trap
greatest.
album ever.
For sure. For sure. I ain't even gonna hold you. Like you said, it's a non-skip album.
Mm-mm.
Beginning to the end. Jeezy did his big one. I don't even think I've listened to an entire Jeezy album since then.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's like I don't even have that's in my top 3 albums ever made. To this day. Like you put it on now in the club and it still ring off the same way it used to. As soon as they hit them goddamn camera flicks, you just hear the whole crowd just shit, here we go.
Yeah,
Like niggas already know what it is. You understand? So
man. I
hell
remember
nah.
I
10-101,
could
bro. That's classic.
die, all of that. Well, let me ask you
Mhm.
this. Do you think TM 101 is the reason for me that Jeezy beat Gucci in the verses?
Unquestionably. Unquestionably, like I said, what's verses 20 songs? Jeezy could take at least 10 off 10-101 by itself, and I think he did as much. You know what I mean? He
But you,
pulled from Recession, here there, he pulled from, but most of that verses was TM-101 and the Trap or Die mixtape. So,
absolutely.
you know what I mean? Hell yeah. Like, and again, salute to Gucci. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
I'm a big Gucci fan, and I low key hated that they went at it because So Actually is still classic to this day when it dropped.
No.
You know what I mean? I like imagine if we could have got a collab tape in '05. Oh man, Gucci and
Really?
Jeezy. Come on, bro.
I used to
Produced by
get
Zay.
19 for a
Oh,
beat.
Lord have mercy.
Call me Genuine, the same old
Oh,
G.
G, come on, man. Come on, bro.
Man, these are lyrics and people don't understand. I tell people all the time, for me, 2000s R&B means more to me than 90s R&B. Because
Mm.
2000s R&B is when I was in high school. So I got
Ooh,
stories,
that's kind of strong right there, brother.
but that's why I say it for me, because I got more
Right.
stories attached to 2000s R&B than I do for 90s R&B.
Copy.
When Can We Talk came on, I was a kid. Like, cool. I know the song,
Mm-hmm.
but I could go down a list of 2000 R&B songs where it's like, let's go. What's my song from Donnell Jones? Uh,
Where I Want to Be.
Where I Want to Be. I got stories for that. On the flip
Mm-hmm.
side, I hate to say his name, but well, instead of saying Diddy's name, I'll use Usher. I remember You Don't Have to Call. I got a girl who I didn't have to call no
Classic.
more.
Yep.
But
My
also on the flip
Way.
side, I got a girl who I could have a story with Bow Wow and Sierra, like you. So to me, it's just the stories. The
True, but it's like
songs,
it's a big part of the '90s that we can't really speak about no more. But
true, true.
but you know what I mean? His catalog alone, though.
So here's what I will say to that. I'm okay if I'm all right with saying 90s has better R&B music. I'm okay with
Okay.
saying that.
Okay.
But for
Okay.
me, 2000s R&B means more to me
Means
than
more.
90s
I feel you on that. I feel you
because
on
I
that.
wasn't smashing in the 90s.
True.
I was smashing
But
in 2000s.
but a lot of those '90s records was still ringing off when we did
Absolutely.
come outside. That's what make it so crazy. You know what I mean? That's what the like
Absolutely.
overlap is. It's like a lot of that shit was still ringing off when we came outside. But in terms of 2000 shit, yeah, I mean, and this another low key album that's damn near skipless that don't get the credit it deserve. Blue Stars, Pretty Ricky,
Is that the
skipless,
one with Hotline on it?
correct,
Yeah. Yeah.
skipless, top to bottom.
last
Don't get the
summer, I don't know
credit.
why I had
Come on,
Hotline on
man.
repeat.
Look, he know.
But
He said the same shit. He's like, yeah, that was what it was.
but here's the thing with Pretty Ricky, if you get 10 guys, that's 10 guys. About half of them gonna say they done smashed to Pretty Ricky, if
For
not lost
sure.
their virginity. If
For
not lost their
sure.
virginity.
That was the anthem for kickbacks back in the day.
For sure. You play Pretty Ricky, you already know what's gonna happen.
You good to go. You ain't gotta worry about
That was
nothing
the
else,
closer.
brother.
That was
Yeah,
the
yeah,
Harvey
yeah.
Specter of music back then. That was the Harvey Specter of R&B.
Right. Okay, Suits. Okay, my boy, he tapped in. Okay, Suits, one of the greatest shows ever. Another one. You know what I mean?
Another one. Not Suits LA. Suits LA
Hell,
was.
not. Hey, man, I was outright disgusted, bro. I got about
I
2
was pissed.
episodes in. I said, yes.
I tried. I'm gonna derail for a minute, but it's all good. Give me your favorite character from Suits.
Hey man, I'm a Harvey guy, bro. It's just it's the swagger, it's the suits, it's the, you know what I mean? Like, like when the chips is down, bro, he
Harvey
gonna
gonna.
figure it out. Like, he gonna find
Yep.
a way to save us. Don't get me wrong, Mike is my guy. That's my
Mike
guy.
is my guy. Yeah.
Skilled, like, can all that reading the whole book in 30 seconds and
He can
photographic memories.
manipulate you. If you need somebody to manipulate you, Mike Ross.
Right. But in terms of just skill level, like, I'm putting him up against whoever. It's Harvey, bro. I gotta go Harvey, man.
Now I will say this. Harvey is definitely my favorite character. The best character development was Louis Litt.
I'm not mad at that. You're right.
Louis is an actor.
You're right.
Bar none.
For sure.
He has scenes with Jessica where he was like fussing the hell out of her.
Yeah.
But his intensity, his passion, it
That's
always showed. That's why I appreciate Louis Litt as far as character development. Not my favorite character, but character development. He had the best art.
Sleeper is Donna, but continue.
Donna actually had a glow up too. Like that first season,
it
Donna was looking like just
shaky.
basic.
But later on,
as time went on, and of course Jessica Pearson.
Man,
shouts out to Jessica Pearson. Man. Flawless.
Season 1, episode 1.
Man.
Come on,
I
man.
ain't seen her look better since.
Right. Tough.
This
I'm talking about every time.
Uniform ain't doing it for me in 911. You can go back to the office.
Hey. Oh, God.
Yeah. All right. Let's shift. This segment is called Give Me More. Random things, and we'll go from there. You recently went to the Beyonce Cowboy Carter tour.
Ooh.
Did your wife have to twist your arm to go, or was it like a willing participant of I'll go with you?
Well, it was a situation where every time Beyonce come to Houston, my wife go to it. It just is what it is. But this time, she asked me to come with her. And normally I just buy the tickets and she'll bring one of her friends, and that almost happened this time because I was, I got a little closer to the show, and I just had a lot going on, and I was just like, man, I was just gonna fall. I was gonna fold on her, but then I thought about it, and I was like, nah, this could be a good date night for us. Let's just go out and do our 1 2. Plus, I mean, the seats was shit. We was row 5, I think, or something like that. So
I was in Beyonce lap.
Right. You know what I mean? So yeah, but yeah, getting to that, man, Beyonce, like when you leave the show, you completely understand why everybody is how they is when it comes to.
I'll say this. I went to Beyonce and Jay-Z on the Run 2. That's what made me a fan. So the next time that she came out and she did Formation, I told my wife, she was my girlfriend at the time, I said, oh, we going. Because for me, it was like, we ain't got nobody else like a Beyonce right now.
Hell no.
Ain't nobody knocking down doors to go see Mariah Carey, Ashanti, Nelly. Ain't nobody breaking these doors down to go see them. They may break the doors down to go see Travis Scott. That's another, you know what? That's a cruel joke. I shouldn't have said that.
Yeah, that is a little too soon. That's too soon.
And you're in Houston. That's bad. Let me rewind that.
But
Ain't
yeah, I
nobody
mean,
breaking down. Go ahead.
but yeah, now I was gonna say as far as Beyonce, man, for one, the microphone is on. For one,
For sure.
let's establish that.
Yep.
Because you go a lot of these concerts, the microphone is not on, brother. It's backtracks playing, it's all types of shit. The microphone is on for Beyonce. She's hitting all these dance moves. Beyonce don't have openers.
No.
The show start at 7. You're gonna
She's the
leave at
show.
10, and it's her for 3 hours. Hit after hit after hit after hit. And the
Mind you,
mic is on. Let me
she's cutting off
stress
some of
that.
these songs too.
Right. Right. So it's just, as far as like getting your money's worth, shit, we paid a lot of money to be up there, and I felt completely vindicated. I bought merch for my old. I felt, hey, this is worth it right here. So yeah,
Absolutely.
hell yeah, salute to Beyonce, man.
Absolutely. I haven't been in a few years, but I did say after this one, if she does another tour, I'm gonna go
Mhm.
because I don't know how many more tours she got in her. We don't have Prince, we don't have Michael Jackson, so I need to see the closest thing to them.
Yeah, yeah. I tell you what else, Usher tour. Oh Lord have mercy.
I want to
Same
go see him in
thing though.
Paris.
Same
So I'm in
same
Paris.
thing. No openers.
No
You're getting
openers.
3 hours of just hits. Just hits, and the mic is on for Usher too. The mic is on.
I was actually
That's
surprised
key
that the
right
mic was
there.
on.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
surprised that the mic was on for Usher, which
Mic is
leads me
on.
into a conversation now. Usher versus Chris Brown. Who's
Don't do that. Don't do me like that. Oh, that's crazy.
all
Don't
right?
do me
So
like that.
let me get my hot take off.
All right.
Usher now is a nostalgic act.
Right.
Chris Brown is the current king of R&B because after, and I'm a generous Usher fan, generous. After Raymond versus Raymond,
Mhm.
it's just a single here and there that's good. I like Here I Stand. A lot of people like the shit on that album. I actually like it. A lot of people didn't like Raymond versus Raymond. I liked it as well. But after that, he started going into the house music, and it's been a slow decline. Even this last album, where Good Good was the hit single, the album was
Right.
trash.
Yeah. Shit.
Chris,
If I remember right, wasn't that a Zaytoven mixtape or something?
no, that's the he got that one out. But then you
Yeah.
remember with the Super Bowl, he got Good Good.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
another song on there, but the album cover has like a peach.
You right. You right.
So I listened to that album, didn't like it. Chris Brown, on the other hand, his albums have actually gotten better. Because for a while he was dropping 60-song albums.
But okay, that came after the self-titled album. His debut album was a
Yep.
certified classic, which is
Oh,
another one
absolutely.
that's damn that skipless. You understand? And then he got to the little, he came under fire for what he came under fire for.
He had a situation.
He been trying to figure it out since then. But in terms of like improvement, yeah, you're right. I can't remember the last time a singer got better over time. Normally they get worse over time, but Kristen got better in terms of the stage performance, the vocals. His mic be on too. It'd be a little auto tune on it, but it's still on.
It's
You know what I
on.
mean?
It's
You know
some
what I
parts
mean?
where it fade out because he got to get these dance moves out. Them
Right.
lungs ain't right all the way.
Exactly. There we go. So, but yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what do you think about Usher just as a nostalgic act right now? Am I putting too much on it? Am I putting too much dip on the chip?
I don't disagree with you, but I want to stamp the fact that it's not a talent thing.
Oh
It's
yeah,
just the
absolutely.
fact that, Usher been active since like 94 or something like that. And that's what people don't realize. Like he looks 30, but he
Absolutely.
been outside since 94. I think his first album came out around then. So, we talking about 30 years of, hits and different things like that. So in terms of him being a nostalgic act, I think, yeah, you could call it that. Like like he's definitely, I don't want to say over the hill because it sounds like he watched or
Yeah.
something. But like in terms of a talent perspective, he could still give us some classic music. But in terms of his heyday, yeah, his heyday was back then. But
I
yeah,
agree. Like Usher still is dope, but I
hmm
also don't feel like he has that pressure to really do anything more. Like he's done everything that you can do imaginable. So I feel like if he gives us an album, cool, thanks. It's
we're gonna
almost
check it
like,
out.
yeah, it's almost, I don't want to say like Denzel, but it's like
hmm
Samuel L. Jackson in a sense. Samuel L.
Right.
Jackson throws us a movie, cool, we appreciate it. Thank you.
hmm Gonna watch
Um,
it. hmm
yeah, absolutely.
Gotta watch it.
Um, you mentioned Drake earlier.
hmm
What's next for Drake, and can he actually make a comeback?
I mean, to be honest, I don't think it did as much damage to Drake as people think.
I
But
agree.
one thing that I will say is I feel like Drake is in his head more than he should be. I think if, he got to learn from Rick Ross, ironically, uh, considering. But
Yeah,
I think he should take a note out of Rick Ross's book in terms of, when the pressure from the outside world was at its highest, he just made great music and made us and simply made us just not care no more. You understand? So, and I think Drake is already off to that start. Nokia came to number one. The record he just dropped, I think, is going to debut at number two on the Billboard. So, like, he ain't fell off, but it's just, I think he's kind of like doing too much testing the waters and too much. I'm gonna throw this out there, see what they say. They don't like it. I'm gonna get rid of it. No. Just make a project of just great music and put it out. Like you. And in my opinion, if I'm him, like I wouldn't even reference that beef no more. I would move like it never happened
move. Yeah,
because Drake is one of the rare artists to where he doesn't need to rap if he doesn't want to. So it's not like I got to give you 15 records of hard bars and I can't speak on the beef that we just can't. No. Just give us 10 to 12 records of just great music. 6 of them singing, 5 of them rapping. You know what I mean? Whatever, however you want to play it, and he gonna be good. So I think that eventually he gonna get to that point. But this thing stung. It did. It
oh,
ain't no way
absolutely.
around it. And
Yeah,
and I think just from a strategic perspective, I feel like he more disappointed in himself than from an actual lyrical perspective. Because in my opinion, I think Drake was actually better than Kendrick lyrically. But I think
hmm
from a strategic perspective, Kendrick was kind of, playing all of the cards that he needed to be played and the timing of it and all of these
timing.
things. Like he was very strategic and he didn't say a word outside of the music. So once the general public is on your side and you're not saying nothing publicly to shift that or move that, oh, you golden. Like whatever you drop, they gonna praise like it's the greatest thing to ever come out. And to where
Absolutely.
from a strategic perspective, I feel like Drake should have seen that avalanche coming and stop with the memes and stop with the story posts and stop with the conversation. No, we just gonna put out great music. And that's just that. Let the chips fall where they fall. Yeah.
He got to get out of his own way
Right.
because every time he takes those 2 steps forward, he take 4 back. What I'm talking about is the ad picture. He didn't have to do that.
That's
So
what I'm
now you
saying.
give people no reason to clown you, and now
And
it's like,
the duck lips pictures and all of that shit
yeah,
too. It's just
like,
like, all right, gang.
come
Like
on, man.
I understand you trying to move like, hey, I ain't tripping. I'm gonna lean into it, but it's like now again, art of war. I read a lot, man. Art of War, 48 Laws of Power, 50th Law, all of these books. So it's like during war, like I kind of know how to move. You know what I mean? And I feel like Drake didn't really know how to move. He felt like I'm big enough to where this shit don't matter and I can do whatever I want to do and I'll be good. But again, when you a real strategist and like really on this shit, like you gotta know when
Legit.
to pick your battles and like, okay, boom, I'm gonna hit him here, I'm gonna fall back for a little bit. Okay, niggas acting like they tired of me, cool. I'm gonna fall back for 6 months. You ain't gonna hear nothing from me. No
Right.
200 gigs, no trial records to see what's going on. I'm gonna just fall back. If y'all think he the king, y'all think he can lead this shit, I'm gonna give him the chance to do it. But he didn't
And
do
I ain't
that.
gonna hold
He
you.
stayed, kind of putting his toe in the water and giving them ammunition. And it's just like
Yeah.
that. Yeah. Mm-mm.
But shouts out to Kendrick. The come up he had from it
For sure.
is definitely life changing. Kendrick probably don't. he probably won't even drop another album. If he does, it'll probably be like a quick EP, quick mixtape. He got a stadium tour out of it, so shouts out to him. He did his big one on this one.
And it was the placement that he always deserved. I mean, let's just be
Absolutely.
honest. Kendrick have been overlooked for most of his career. He been winning Grammys, but in terms of like just this much praise and attention, that's why I was so conflicted. Because it's like I'm a Drake fan, but it's like I also want Kid Dot to get his flowers. Like he been this good, but people just wasn't paying no attention. Like to Pimp a Butterfly is arguably probably my favorite Kendrick album. If we're gonna be
Absolutely.
honest, and it's slept
Absolutely.
on. Motherfuckers don't that little bullshit ass that nigga. You know, most people, the average fan will go to Good Kid, Mad City or whatever, but To Pimp a Butterfly is probably my favorite Kendrick project, top to bottom. You understand? And they didn't get half the praise it deserved. But then he throw out something simple like G and X, and they calling it the top 2 in the catalog. It's like, it's
y'all
like
ain't real.
nah,
Y'all, yeah. That's definitely the
fans, yeah. Like
bandwagon,
again, we
man.
come
The
from
bandwagon.
Section 80. We come from goddamn ADHD Kendrick. We come from that. You understand? Like, so to see him rise to this level, I love that. I just hate that it's at the expense of another artist that I'm a fan of.
And I think the thing with Kendrick, because he's so low key, he only talks about himself when it comes to rapping.
Mm-hmm.
Really, the only time you're gonna hear him like talk about himself and talk his shit and pop his shit. But I think going to a Malice line, I tried being humble. Humble don't get no
It's
respect.
no respect.
So Kendrick wasn't getting that respect. But
Mhm.
now you ain't got no choice but to respect Kendrick because of the whole beef situation. So shouts out to both of them. I know Drake is going to come back. He just, like you said, he's in his head. And it makes perfect sense. I haven't heard it like that. It's been more so people saying he's in his feelings versus in his head. So
Yeah, because it's
I like
like it's a culture shock going from everything I drop works to I gotta be very strategic in how I move. Those are totally different things. We talking about Drake 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Everything I drop works. I could do what I want. I could sing. I could sing in Spanish. I could rap
Yeah.
in UK or
Yeah.
whatever, and it all works. I'm good compared to like I'm dropping a video and they clowning me for guns being in it. You understand? Like it's a totally different mindset. But like I said, like if I'm like Drake need to read The Art of War. He need to read 48 Laws of Power. He need to read 50th Law. He need to really like get better with that. You sometimes just being the most popular nigga is just not enough, especially when you've been that popular for as long as he has. Because eventually, everybody that was cheering for you, a lot of times they might turn that tide and start hoping for you to fall. I mean, I found that out on Twitter myself. I kind of went through something similar. You know what I mean?
And it's so crazy because, and it doesn't matter what it is, whether it's Twitter, whether it's sports, whether it's just even in your own personal journey, people are going to cheer for you to get to the mountaintop. But as soon as you get to that mountaintop, it's like, hey, we got to get him down. We got to throw rocks at him. We got to throw all kind of stuff at him because he don't need to be there. He or she don't need to be there. We need to see the fall. Shannon Sharp is another one. We're seeing the fall. We've seen Diddy. We've seen the fall. Everybody cheers for you to get to the mountaintop. I think one of the people that most identifies that is Tiffany Haddish. Tiffany Haddish, she was like all of our cousins. And then when she got to the mountaintop, of course she did some silly stuff, talking too much and all this other stuff, but people were rooting on her downfall.
Kevin Hart too, another one.
Kevin Hart.
Everybody rooted for Kevin Hart when Grown Little Man came out. He was the hottest thing, and Kevin Hart could do no wrong. Now, oh, he ain't funny. He ain't this. He trash. He da 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 da. So it's like, you know, Hov said it best, bro. You either die young or live long enough to see yourself become a villain, and that's real. Especially if you
Outside the bank.
constantly putting yourself out there for criticism and things of that nature. So even when I went through with my little thing on Twitter, like I said, I read. So it's like I know when the tides are turning. I know when is nothing I could do. I could walk an old lady across the street right now, and they're gonna find something wrong with that. You understand? So it's like at that point, you just bow out of the game or bow out of it and tap into something else that you're good at. And then when you come back, they gonna praise you for coming back. You understand? But if you stay there and try to swim against the current,
Nah, you're
You're
gonna
gonna
lose every
drown.
time. You let Lanier at that point. I'm gonna end out on this note.
Mhm.
What are some of the things you got coming up? What are some future goals that you have? What's next for TrillAC?
Man, that's a great question, brother. Well, brand new tour coming back in the fall. 30 cities again. We're gonna be back outside. That right there started in October. Until then, I'm trying to write this book.
Mm.
I'm again just trying to record more content. Like just get sharper, like you're gonna start seeing me in places that you ain't really seen me before. This weekend I made a lot of connections with people from a networking perspective, man. And I plan on actually following through with them. And really, all these invites, bro, come out here, come do this, come do that. The old me be like, yeah, all right, I'm coming, and then don't come. You understand? But I think this time I'm gonna start taking that a bit more serious, the networking piece, and just really tap in. Because that's one thing about this weekend, bro, is I got to really feel the level of impact, just like you said earlier, and that right there was super inspiring. Because when you're not outside and you're just making the content, everything is a number. How many
Everything.
views, how many likes I get, how many. But when you out there and you touching the people and they coming up to you, oh my God, I can't believe it's you, and you saved me, and and you leave that shit and you like, oh nah, this is crazy. And then you meeting celebrities and motherfuckers who know Oprah and Stephen Hill, the owner of BT, and he telling you, hey, nah, bro, like you that, like keep going. It's like, okay, yeah, okay. So nah, really got to take this serious. So I think just going forward, bro, you're gonna see a way more aggressive me in terms of that. So buckle up.
Hey, buckle up, lock in, tap in. Speaking of tapping in, let the people know where they can find you, where they can keep up with you on your journey.
The TrillAC, that's everywhere. TheTrillac. That's Instagram, that's Facebook, that's TikTok, YouTube. I'm getting my YouTube back started. Trill Academy. Make sure y'all subscribe, tap in. I'm about to really turn up on that. And then cruise season. If you ain't tapped in with cruise season, you definitely got to tap in. We got some things coming that way as well. So yeah, I'm everywhere, bro. Everywhere. And it's only gonna get worse going forward, man. So
It's a brand name like Pepsi. It's a
it's a
brand
brand name.
name.
It's a real brand.
Hey man,
So I
all I
had to
do is
just
quote
say it.
movies, man. I
For
quote movies
sure.
all the time, especially like,
Classic.
man,
Come on, man.
Boomerang, Coming to America, of course.
Life, Harlem
Bill, like,
Nights.
bro,
Goddamn. Come on, man.
I probably need to go see Life right now.
Come
I
on.
got a flight at 5 a.m. I'm going on a trip, not a
Yeah.
vacation. I'm going on a trip,
Mm-hmm.
taking the kid down to Florida, and I'll be working on this. I probably need to watch Life. I ain't seen it in a minute. Man, there's so many funny scenes from that. But I appreciate your time, man. I appreciate you locking in with me. I'm gonna
Love,
definitely
bro.
stay connected. Like you said, come on out to tonight's conversation. I am going to make sure I pull up.
Tap
Bring
in.
my wife. We're gonna have a good time. Man.
Thank me later.
I got
I
you. I
promise you,
got you.
brother. You gonna enjoy yourself for sure. Especially in Memphis. You coming? Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Memphis is one of the livest cities on the tour every year. So yeah, tap in.
Cool. We definitely gonna tap in, bro.